Hello, dear friends. Once again, I am with you here in this channel that is Hospitality Education PPT. As you all know that in our last session, we have started a new series that is on exploring diverse cooking methods. There, we have explained the entire cooking methods in terms of a flowchart, and out of the entire flowchart, we have started discussing on moist method of cooking, and we did complete some part of it, and today we are going to complete the rest of the part under the moist medium of cooking. So this is our part 2 session under the series of exploring diverse cooking methods. By the time you have gone through the earlier session, I did not receive any comments, neither your doubts. So I'm considering that it is going well and you are understanding it to your best possible way. If not, don't forget to put me in the comment box. I can easily give you the supplement answer or clarify your doubts. So let us begin. I welcome you all to the session once again for the second part. And this second part, we're going to discuss about the topic which is under scope of study for us, and they are like this. You can see that the few points are mentioned on your screen. That is, what is a papillot? We're going to discuss that. That is a new term concept for us. How cooking is done in a papillot process, and what are the advantages of that. At the same time, we will also discuss about another method, which is very unique method, which is known as sous vide. That also we are going to discuss, and we'll develop the basic steps and workflow of sous vide cooking, and also we are going to clarify and understand the concept of microwave cooking, which is also very popular in almost in every home style cooking process. Okay, so that is our agenda today, scope of study today. So let us begin with the next topic, that is what is a papillot. The first question is, what is a papillot? Do you have any concept in your mind? Hopefully you are also hearing it first time. Now let us try to elaborate this particular word. A papillot means, in French it is a very simple meaning. It means in paper or in parchment. Parchment, those who have learned the basic science already in your early school days, you know parchment is a kind of paper through which water is not passing through. In Italian language, the same papillot in French style is also known as cartoccio. Cartoccio is the Italian term, and French term is more popular in the world. That is known as a papillot. It simply means in paper or in parchment. Clear? Next, in the culinary art, the term a papillot refers to a moist heat cooking where the food is enclosed in a packet of parchment paper or foil. Now you understand why we go for a parchment paper or not a simple paper. Parchment paper or foil, and then cook it in the oven. Delicate foods such as chicken breast or fish may be cooked on papillot process, as they can be quickly cooked by this steaming method. What exactly we are trying to convey out here, that our papillot from the term we understood that it is something which is known as in paper or in parchment. What is that? It is a, first of all, a moist heat method of cooking, where we take the food item which is enclosed in a packet, either it is a parchment paper or a foil, and then the entire thing is sealed and cooked in the oven. And in the oven, what happens? Normally, we can use chicken breast or fish, which is cooked in a papillot style, and then it is cooked by steaming method. The steam which is generated inside the packet, that steam will be enough to cook the item you are cooking in the style of a papillot. Fair enough? Okay. When cooking a papillot, there are usually vegetables, herbs, and seasonings included in the packet along with the main item. So not only main item, along with that we do take vegetables, different herbs and seasonings. And main item is what? It can be a fish fillet, can be a chicken breast, or simply it can be vegetable also. These additional ingredients along with the main item give the steam off, it will generate the steam, which is what actually cooks the food. And that steam which is generated out of these ingredients along with the main ingredient, that helps in cooking, because we are cooking it in a sealed packet. And the packet is made out of parchment paper or a foil, so nothing is getting escaped from that packet. Therefore, our papillot cooking is basically a technique for cooking with steam, nothing else. Is it clear? Fine, fair enough. Now let us see some images. Here we can see that here we are having some vegetables, some mixture of ingredients which will be there in the sealed packet. And then if you see that in a packet we are putting some base of herbs, some vegetables. Here you can see some slices of lemon, fish portion is also given, and then it will be made into packet like this. Simplest way I am mentioning, it is a kind of parchment paper taken, and then it is ultimately cooked in the oven, and once it is cooked it will be kept open like this. So that is what a papillot is. Now it is not the end. We will discuss it a little more in the following slides. Cooking a papillot. If you are cooking at all, then what are the points to be remembered by you? When cooking a papillot, there are usually vegetables, herbs and seasonings included in the packet. We have mentioned it already. We are repeating it, underlining it, along with the main item, such as fish fillet. It can be chicken also, I have mentioned. These additional ingredients, along with the main item, give off the steam. It generates steam inside, which is what actually cooks the food. So with that, the trick of the trade is that the steam generated naturally from these ingredients, when it is sealed in a packet and placed in the oven, that steam is enough to cook the food. Therefore, our papillot cooking is basically a technique of cooking with steam. That is very, very clear. What next? Aromatic herbs and seasoning used depend on the recipe. Now it is not fixed that these are the herbs to be used. So depending on the recipe it will change, and the desired flavor you want from the finished dish. Onions, garlic, dill leaves, fennel, ginger, thyme, sage, rosemary, lemon, the lemon zest you can also use, orange zest you can use, tarragon, oregano, or chives are some of the suggestions. These are the herbs you can use, or the assorted ingredients you can use over there for a papillot. Clear? Fine. Then next is a small amount of liquid may be needed, and if it is needed, then what are the things you can use? You can use wine, you can use lemon juice, or you can use little bit of stock. A little oil might be also added, especially one that imparts the flavors such as rose sesame oil, sometimes rosemary oil. Okay. The items are usually seasoned before the packet is closed with salt and pepper. Baking time and temperature will depend on the item being cooked. So that is the process. You need some vegetables. You need a parchment paper or a foil paper. We list the main item, that is fish fillet or a chicken breast. And you need some couple of herbs and ingredients. We need onion, garlic, dill, fennel, ginger, chives, oregano zest, orange zest, sorry, lemon zest, all these things, rosemary you can use, and also we can use some wine, lemon juice, or stock. And then it is seasoned, sealed, and then baked as per the cooking time, temperature, desired temperature, in a encased in a papillote style. Clear? That is what is papillote is. What should you use for the pouch? We can use different kind of pouch. Parchment paper is the traditional wrapping used to create the cooking packet as denoted by the name of the technique. So it is very simple that as the name denotes, we need a parchment paper primarily to cook such type of preparations or to make the pouch. What else we can use? We can also, we have mentioned that, or you can also use aluminium foil, another choice, which is likewise non-stick and liquid don't permeate through it. It can be easily crimped shut to keep in the steam. It can be easily sealed actually by simply folding it from all the sides. And then for Asian cooking, which is very common in our life, large leaves such as banana leaves may be used for cooking our papillote, serving the same purpose as parchment or aluminium foil, but making for a more colorful presentation. You can easily see the difference between this, and if you are going for a banana leaves, definitely you can create more colorful presentation on that because it will be served directly along with the packet. Clear? So we can use a parchment paper, we can use aluminium foil, even we can use some traditional paper. We can also use grapes leaves sometimes. We can also use these banana leaves. So there are various options to create a papillote pouch. Fair enough? Fine. How to serve a papillote? Normally during the presentation, the dish is typically served directly in the parchment paper packet. So it is not that from the parchment paper, you being a chef, you remove the product, put it on a plate. The entire parchment paper along with the food, the sealed condition will be served to the guest. This not only makes for an impressive presentation, but also allows diners to experience the aromatic steam when they open the packet. So if you stand beside and open the packet and it is entire thing is placed before the guest and you are just with the permission of the guest, you are opening the seal for the guest. And what will happen the moment you are opening the seal, you are cutting it with a scissor. Now naturally we will see that the aroma, the steam is coming out from there, getting escaped. And what you will get first, the aroma of it, and that will take you to the heaven. The combination herbs and main ingredients, the flavored oil, everything you have used over there. So naturally it will give a combination flavor which is almost a heavenly flavor. How it will be plated? Place the unopened packet on a plate. Diners can then cut open, as I have mentioned, the packet at the table, releasing the delicious aroma and revealing the perfectly cooked food inside. And it is basically you are opening the packet, you are also getting surprised something is there inside that is creating some mystery for the food. And once you are getting that heavenly flavor coming out, that is awesome. So that is the way our papillote is served. Now, what are the advantages of cooking our papillote? First of all, it is flavorful and moist. The sealed packet traps steam, ensure the food cooks in its own juices, which enhances the flavors and keeps the food moist. That you well understand. When a simple fillet of fish is mixed with the vegetables and herbs and wine or some oil and sealed in a packet like a parchment paper or foil or banana leaves and then baked in the oven. So food is getting cooked in a moist heat is generated inside because the steam is generated from the inside water molecule present and that is becoming very soft and juicy. The meat, the product is not becoming dry at all. It is very healthy. This method requires little to no added fat. You require either very little or no added fat, making it healthy cooking option. Easy cleanup. How? Since the food is cooked in parchment paper, there are very few dishes you require to be washed. So naturally it is easy cleanup, versatile. You can cook a variety of proteins. It can be fish, it can be chicken, it can be tofu, and vegetables using this method. Nutrient retention, your common sense will tell you that nutrient retention is maximum. The gentle steaming process helps retain more nutrients compared to other cooking methods. That is very obvious because you are not draining it out, you are not washing it, neither you are cooking it in a curry or a gravy, or not further it is cooked in sauce. It is simply composite cooking in a sealed container. So naturally, all the nutrients, there is hardly any scope to be lost by the way of cooking. So it is highly high retention power of this kind of cooking method are popular. So these are the advantages. How this is to be served, that also you have explained out here. I hope you are not having any further doubt on our popular method of cooking. You can try it at home. You can try it when you'll be getting your next guest in your restaurant. Okay. Next is we're going to discuss about another very unique method of cooking which is known as sous vide. Sous vide is basically the arrangement of the equipment. It is the help of a cooking equipment. It is done. It is a kind of container and we are having some arrangements out here. We can set the temperature. Before that, let us find out what is sous vide. Then it will be, this image will be more meaningful to you, right? Sous vide. Sous vide in French, it means sous means under and vide means vacuum. In cooking technique, where food is vacuum sealed in a plastic bag and then cooked in a water bath at a precisely controlled and low temperature for an extended period of time. This method ensures that the food is cooked evenly and retains its moisture and flavor. So try to understand this. First of all, sous vide, the word means is cooking under vacuum. How? First of all, we require a kind of arrangement like this, where there will be a container, there will be some water. You need a plastic bag inside which the product will be vacuum sealed and then it will be cooked under water bath. In this, we can always set the temperature. Temperature should be lower. If the lower temperature is there, automatically your cooking time will be extended and you can ensure that it is a very unique and very unique method of cooking. So that is about the sous vide. It is like this as we have explained, this is a sous vide equipment where temperature can be set, cooking time can be set, water is there and the meat product already you can see along with other ingredients, it is sealed packed and it is dipped in that, it will be there retained for the specific period of time. Low temperature, automatically the cooking time will be more and slowly it will be cooked very nicely and intensely it will be cooked with all flavor. Some key features of sous vide cooking. Let us discuss that. First of all, the precision. The water bath is maintained at a constant temperature level and ensuring that The food is cooked to the exact level of doneness you desire. That means you have to set the doneness level. Accordingly, you set the temperature and cooking time will be continued up to that. For example, if you want a steak to be cooked in a real level of medium rare, you set the water temperature to 135 degrees Fahrenheit or 57 degrees Celsius, and it will never exceed that temperature. The equipment, the advantage of the equipment is that if you set the temperature, the temperature won't go beyond that level. So it is so, there is a precision of this kind of cooking process, that is sous vide. Consistency, because the temperature is controlled so precisely, you can achieve the consistent result every time. So every time if you cook 150 grams of steak, of beef steak, by this method, I'm just giving you one example. Every time, once you fix up the temperature and cooking time, it will give you the consistent result every time. And that is the advantage of this sous vide cooking. Clear? Flavor and texture. Cooking food in its own juices helps to concentrate flavors and maintain a tender texture. So what happens? First of all the juices coming out from the meat will be there, and it will give you a very concentrated, impactful flavor. Meat will become tender as because it is getting slowly cooked in a set temperature level. Low temperature cooking also helps to break down the connective tissues in meat and making it incredibly tender. So these are the advantages. Flexibility, that is also another one point. Sous vide cooking allows you to cook food to the perfect temperature and hold it there for a longer period without overcooking. You got my point? It will be once the temperature is set, and if you are following all guidelines for sous vide, there will be hardly any chance that the food will get overcooked, because already you have set the temperature up to that. It won't go beyond that temperature. The flexibility is great for meat meal preparation and timing your dishes perfectly. So you can, to what extent you are going to cook it, that is so flexible that you can decide over that. That is the uniqueness of this kind of cooking process, that is sous vide. Let us take it little further for our understanding. Basic steps to be followed in sous vide cooking. Firstly, season your food as desired and vacuum seal it in a plastic bag. That is the first priority. Season the food, vacuum pack it in which container, a plastic bag, seal it properly. Next, set up the water bath. Attach your immersion circulator to a pot or container. You are having the immersion circulator on top. You can attach it, or you can get the entire container along with the immersion circulator and set the temperature. Bring the water to that level and set it to the desired temperature level. Okay. Next is cook. How to cook? Place the sealed bag in the water bath and let it cook for the required time you have set already. It's very simple. Just notice that. Finishing. After cooking, you can quickly sear the food in a hot pan to develop a crust and enhance flavor. Now, after finishing, what will happen? We'll take it out from the packet. We'll shear. Shear means what? Exposing it to the high heat in a pan to get a brown color on top from all the sides even. That will obviously enhance the appearance of the product. Otherwise, to sous vide, there is hardly any chance to get some brown color on. So we can also do the finishing part like this. And let us now try to visualize the product. Firstly, season the meat like this. It is getting seasoned with simple salt and pepper, and then seal it in a bag with some aromatics, vacuum packing of course, in a plastic bag. like this. It will be looking like this. Very good seal. You have to ensure that there is no leakage. Next is putting it. This is the circulator we are talking about. This is the container. You set it properly. You set the temperature, set the cooking time, and add the water up to the perfect level. And what else? Start cooking. And once it is cooked, take it out, rest for some time. You can use a kitchen cloth or kitchen paper to make it little dry from outside. And if you are serving it immediately, then take a pan, melt the butter or olive oil, and sear the meat from all the sides. When it will develop a nice brown color up to your desired level, and then you serve it to the guest. What is the workflow? First of all, we are going to marinate the meat. After marination, what we are going to do? We are going to vacuum pack it. After vacuum packing, we'll go for sous vide cooking. Now, once the cooking is done, we can have two options. One is it will be served immediately, or it will be preserved for next day. It can be two options. If it is served immediately, what you are going to do? Finishing how? By sharing it in a pan and then plating it for serving. Clear? And if you are preserving it, then go for blast freezing or blast chilling. What is a blast chilling? Blast chilling is a process, is a rapid cooling process which will take the product from the cooked temperature to the storing temperature. It will take immediately certain change, but that's why it is known as the blast chilling. So it will actually zero down the scope of growing any further bacteria or food spoilage over there. So you have to go for blast chilling. Once the blast chilling is done, next day whenever you are serving, you put the packet from the blast freezer to the sous vide container once again for regenerating. It will be just heated over there. Already we know that once the temperature is set, there is no possibility of getting overcooked. So this meat will never get overcooked over there. What we can do, we can put it in the sous vide container, the circulator with the container, so that the temperature will be regained, and then take it out from the packet, fry the top or sear it from all the sides, and then serve it to the guest by plating it properly. So that is the entire process of sous vide, which is there presented in front of you to get your idea very clear and transparent, and hope it is very, very clear in your mind now. Clear? Okay. Now we'll proceed to the next and our last point of discussion today, that is microwave cooking. What is this microwave? Though it is very common to many of us in our home style of cooking, microwave cooking uses electromagnetic waves to heat and cook food. Okay? What the science behind it? It is looking like this. You have all seen that. The microwaves cook food by exciting the water molecules inside, causing them to vibrate rapidly and produce friction between nearby molecules, and ultimately resulting in heat generation and cooking time. So what we are saying, this microwave will hit the water molecules. Every product has got a water percentage, so it will hit the water molecules inside, and once the molecules are getting heated, they will be vibrating. Each molecule will start vibrating. Once each molecule side by side are vibrating, what will happen? There will be some frictional heat generated. Once that friction is generated, that will help to cook the product in the microwave. You got my point how it works? Let us take it little more further. Electromagnetic waves. Microwaves are a type of electromagnetic wave similar to radio waves, but with a very shorter wavelength. I'm not explaining what is wavelength because anyway, I'm not going to take you, I have no intention to take you to a level of science, scientific researcher. These waves are generated by a component called a magnetron inside the microwave oven. So the waves are generated through a component which is known as magnetron. Okay. Now, heating process, how it is heated. When you turn on the microwave, the magnetron produces microwaves that are directed into the cooking chamber. So they are flowing inside the cooking chamber. These waves, while flowing, penetrate the food and cause water, fat, and sugar molecules to vibrate very rapidly. And this vibration creates friction, and this friction in turn generates the heat and ultimately cooks the food from inside out. In other cases, when you go for normal cooking, you will find out that heat is penetrating from outside to the product to the inside part of the product. In case of microwave, it is just the opposite. The heat is starting from the inside, then heat is coming to the outside. Inside out is the cooking process in microwave cooking technique. Efficiency. You all know that microwave cooking is a very short version of cooking. In a short span of time, the product will get cooked. But how? The idea will be very clear right now. Microwaves are efficient because they directly heat the food molecules rather than the surrounding air or the container, and thus making the cooking process faster. You got my point? In a normal cooking process, what happens? If you take up water, put it in a kettle and put it for boiling, what will happen? First, the container, the metal will be heated. From the heated metal, it will be transferred to the water. Inside the water, the heat will be circulated through, we have discussed, conduction, convection, and radiation. So first two will be active in this case, and then the water will be getting heated slowly. So it will take some time. In this case, it is not happening in case of microwave because where straight away magnetron is hitting the water molecule inside the product. It is getting agitated and creating the heat, and that heat is helping the product to be cooked. So it is a much faster time. And why it is faster? Being a student of hospitality management, now you know what is what. But there are certain limitations. What are those? While microwaves are great for reheating and cooking many types of food, they may not be ideal for dishes that require browning or crisping, like baked goods or roasted meats. You got my point? You get everything done. Only one thing you won't be getting, where you require a brown color, where you require a crispiness of the product. That kind of things is not possible to develop through microwave cooking process. That is the only limitations we are having. Okay? Is that clear to all of you? Very good. So with that, we are at the end of the session, and thank you very much once again for attending the session with all interest, and your valued comments are very, very important for me. If you have liked the session, then definitely hit the like button, subscribe it, and press the bell as well, so that the next session will be continued with the cooking method and you get the alarm first that when is that session. Okay. If you are having any doubts, any further questions in your mind, please put me in the comment box. I'll get the answer as earliest as possible. And I'm very sure you have enjoyed the session today, and to what extent you have enjoyed, what extent you have understood the matter. If you can put it in your comment box, I'll be the happiest person under the sun. So before we start our next session next week, till then, take care, goodbye, and all the best for you all.